Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Darkjack, and in this video I go nuclear on the map Meltdown in Black Ops 2. And today what I want to talk to you guys about is why Call of Duty is so popular on YouTube. And there are a ton of shooter games out there on YouTube and on Twitch TV. There's Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Halo, Killzone, Uncharted, Max Payne 3, Gears of War, PlanetSide 2, and all the next-gen shooter games that are coming out like Titanfall. And out of all these games right now, Call of Duty is the most popular on YouTube. And Minecraft is pretty popular too, but it's not a shooter game. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons in this video for why Call of Duty is #1 right now. So the first reason is Call of Duty is the most played game on Xbox Live. It is the most addictive first-person shooter game out there. It is the most fast-paced gun-to-gun shooter game out there by far. And I've played a lot of them, and none of them compare to Call of Duty. And also, Call of Duty is built around something called the Skinnerian box. And what the Skinnerian box is an experiment that B.F. Skinner did, where he took a rat or a mouse, put them in a box, and then had them press a lever to receive food. And so the more times, so eventually the rat had to keep pressing the box more and more times to get food. And so Call of Duty continually rewards its players. You start off at level 1 and then you rank up fast, and then it takes longer and longer to rank up. And so the game conditions you to keep playing because of the ranking system and all the unlocks in it. And what Call of Duty does is it refuses the rewards-based gameplay of an MMO or an RPG with a first-person shooter. What Weston's Impella did was they took Medal of Honor, which is the game that they were working on before, and combined it with World of Warcraft to make a very addictive first-person shooter game. And there are tons of people that want to know how to get better at Call of Duty because so many people play it. There are tens of thousands of tips and tricks videos about Call of Duty on YouTube. And Call of Duty on YouTube is extremely oversaturated because of all the people that want that YouTube money because of Call of Duty. And it's the same with Minecraft as well. YouTube is a copycat industry. Whatever PewDiePie does, everyone else does. And so people upload whatever is most popular at the time. And all YouTubers do is copy each other. And if you look at the rise of Let's Play videos, that's because of Toby Games and PewDiePie and all the other channels that are doing it. So whatever somebody does that is popular on YouTube, all the other channels that are smaller are going to do the same thing to try to cash in on the popularity of that. And that's why Call of Duty is so popular. The second reason is that Call of Duty is extremely easy to play. Call of Duty has a very small skill gap in comparison to other games. The skill gap is so compressed that allows for anyone to hop in and have fun. It is extremely accessible. And there are no power weapons or power-ups, so you don't have to memorize the power weapon locations or timing them like in older Halo games. And you spawn in with power weapons. You choose your loadout, so you can choose the most powerful class in the game at the very start, and then abuse that. In comparison to a game like StarCraft, which has a very high skill gap, and there is a huge difference between a beginner and a professional player. Whereas with Call of Duty, the skill gap is much smaller. It has a lot to do with not so much your individual skill, but the people you play with. Because it is so accessible, it has great responsive controls, and it's easy to get gameplay for YouTube. If you just play for a few hours, you can get several great games, as long as you play against bad players. And what YouTubers do is they quit out of lobbies until they find a lobby filled with noobs. This is called a magical lobby. And if you don't believe me, look up the win-loss ratio of YouTubers on Call of Duty Elite. And most of them have horrible win-loss ratios because they just quit out of games to get YouTube gameplays. And there are so many people that do it. And the reason why they're so popular is because they are selling to you a fantasy, and people live vicariously through them. That's why Sandy Ravage was so popular in Modern Warfare 2, because he got lots of cool nuclear gameplays running around with a shotgun. He did something that was very difficult to do, because it was so easy to die in Modern Warfare 2. And so people lived vicariously through his videos. The third reason is that Call of Duty lacked leader support for Call of Duty 4 through Modern Warfare 2, and because of that, it forced people to record the gameplay live, unlike Halo 3, which had a reliable theater system. And so while Halo players shared the gameplay with thousands on Bungie.net, Call of Duty players shared their gameplay with millions on YouTube. And that is part of the reason why it is so popular, because Call of Duty players had to go out and buy a capture card, whereas Halo players did not have to. The fourth reason is that Call of Duty games are fast-paced and short, because the ideal length for a YouTube video is 5 to 8 minutes long. People do not like watching long gameplay videos. So Call of Duty fits perfectly in with YouTube because you can get short gameplays that are fast-paced and entertaining. Unlike Battlefield, which is a very long-paced and slower-paced game, and Battlefield games can take over half an hour to complete, which is not an ideal size for YouTube. And the fifth and final reason is that Call of Duty is multi-platform. Games like Halo, Gears of War, Killzone, and Uncharted could never, by their definition of being first-party exclusives, ever compete with a multi-platform game. And so if you have a first-party exclusive game, you're always going to have a smaller fan base than a multi-platform third-party game. And YouTubers want to reach the most people as possible. That way the most people can watch their videos. And that's why Bungie wanted out of Halo. Because Bungie's goal as a company is to take over the world and slingshot their competition into the sun. And you're not going to be able to do that if your game is only on one console. That's why they wanted out to develop Destiny, which is multi-platform. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.